This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. I'll let you know the latest of what's going on with the three different stimulus checks, and there may be a new stimulus check if you're a car owner. When it comes to the debt ceiling vote, it's supposed to happen today in the House. If it doesn't, I'm going to play you a video clip from Janet Yellen talking about the negative consequences to our everyday life if the debt ceiling is not raised. When it comes to the big spending packages, I'm going to play a video clip from a Republican as well as a video clip from a Democrat, giving you a well-rounded perspective of what's going on with the packages moving forward. And President Biden may have backed himself into a corner and needs to take big, bold action. I'm going to play a video clip explaining more about that. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced update, hit the like button down below. Let's start with the stimulus update first. So, petition for the $1,400 stimulus checks for seniors. I've gotten a lot of questions about this. This is not the $1,000 vouchers that may come with that big spending package, which could be used for dental or other things. This is completely different. It's a petition. It's not in any package yet, but that $1,400 stimulus check is still being promoted on a daily basis for seniors collecting Social Security. When it comes to the Golden State check delay, so California is offering their own second round of stimulus checks, and they just came out saying that there are 9 million people delayed in getting those second stimulus checks. So if you're in California expecting that check, delays are happening as of now. And October's child tax credit, that is coming out October 15th at the end of the month. If you already got a direct deposit in the past, IRS is saying that you may get a paper check this time. It personally happened to me. Next, when it comes to the fourth stimulus check petition at change.org for the $2,000 per month to every American, currently it is at 2,924,000 signatures so far. Still, a fourth stimulus check has not made it into that big package yet. When it comes to a new type of stimulus check, if you have a car, so state orders new car insurance stimulus checks, are you due for another refund? So basically what it's saying here is that insurance companies got a big break because they were charging the same amount of premiums even though nobody was driving for the year of 2020, or at least a portion of it during the pandemic and the quarantine. And what they're saying is that they need to give the money back to the people since there was no driving done. So what's happening here is they're saying that action needs to be taken. They're saying reimburse consumers for excess premiums since the beginning of the pandemic or face legal action. So we don't know how much this potential car stimulus check could be, but if payments are not done, they gave 30 days. They said these insurance companies have 30 days to tell us once and for all how they are going to make it right before we take further action. So not sure if the insurance companies are going to pay out a stimulus check or a refund or whatever you want to call it, or they're going to have to deal with action. I'll keep you updated on that. Treasury Secretary Yellen says she wants to get rid of the debt ceiling as McConnell threatens another default standoff in 2 months. So, as you know, if you've been watching the channel, there's been a lot of drama going on with the debt ceiling, and the vote is supposed to extend it today until December 3rd. Not official yet. Hopefully, later on during the day, it becomes official. And also, Janet Yellen says if it doesn't happen, then it could be a catastrophe, and she wants to get rid of it altogether. Here's a video clip from Janet Yellen talking more about that.
A week of cliffhangers in Washington, the economy at stake. Default has been avoided for now. Just enough Republicans joined Democrats to extend the debt ceiling until December, when deadlines on the debt, government funding, and the president's investment agenda will converge. What could be a make-or-break moment for Biden's presidency and America's economy. All this poses tough challenges for our headliner, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. Good morning, Madam Secretary.
Good morning. Thanks for the invitation.
So we all dodged a bullet this week, but Senator McConnell has warned President Biden that Republicans won't help next time on the debt limit. I want to read part of his letter to President Biden. Quote, I will not be a party to any future effort to mitigate the consequences of Democratic mismanagement. You lieutenants on Capitol Hill now are the time they claim they lacked to address the debt ceiling through standalone reconciliation and all the tools to do it. What are the consequences if he keeps his word?
Well, it's absolutely imperative that we raise the debt ceiling. That's necessary not to fund any new spending programs, but to pay the bills that result from Congress's past decisions. A group of business and community leaders met with President Biden and me last week to talk about the disastrous impact it would have for the first time America not paying its bills. 50 million Americans who receive Social Security payments would be put at risk. Our troops wouldn't know when or if they would be paid. The 30 million families that receive a child tax credit, those payments would be in jeopardy, and the nation's credit rating would be in jeopardy as well. U.S. Treasuries are the world's safest possible asset. That would be at risk as well, and that really underpins the reserve status, currency status of the dollar. So there's an enormous amount at stake. A failure to raise the debt ceiling would probably cause a recession and could even result in a financial crisis. It would be a catastrophe.
What do you think about what Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has to say? Looks like it could be really bad, but hopefully things work itself out. It's never happened in the U.S. before. Why should it start now due to a bunch of Congress members fighting with each other? So when it comes to the upcoming big package, 3.5 trillion, this article says, we suffer while you debate. Many fear being left behind as Democrats trim spending bill. President Biden had an ambitious agenda to remake the economy, but under the duress of negotiations and Senate rules, he has shelved a series of proposals, some of them indefinitely. So some of those proposals, potential fourth stimulus check, homebuyer credit of $15,000 to $25,000, increase in Social Security for all Social Security recipients, as well as student loan forgiveness. A lot of those have not made it into the package, and he's probably going to cut a lot more too to try to get that package passed. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Is it better to have a little bit passed or nothing passed? Let me know your thoughts on that. Here is the Republican perspective from Kevin McCarthy, representative from California, on what the Republicans think about this package coming out.
So tell me about all of this spending. I know you won't be negotiating the reconciliation package. It's all about the debt ceiling this upcoming week. But we were just talking with John Barrasso about what's in it. Can you walk us through what strikes you most about this $3.5 trillion package?
There's a number of it. Let's not get just hung up on the cost, because the cost is outrageous. But you watch what the Democrats are debating. They're going to come to you and say, well, we saved some money. They will not. It's the substance that's in the bill. If they put these programs into the bill, what they will be saying is it costs less. It does not. They're just dialing back how long they will fund it. It will continue to go on. If you're concerned about bank surveillance, if you have more than $600 in your bank account, government will now know what you do, whether you go to Disneyland, how you spend your money. And again, Secretary of Treasury Yellen supports that, and the Democrats support that. Why? Because they want to vote for 85,000 new IRS agents to spy on what you are doing instead of protecting the border. Then if you look from the other aspects, it has more than $100 billion for amnesty for 10 million people who came to America illegally. And we're watching that happen day after day on our borders, and I'm looking forward to you being down to the border reporting again. Then we're watching that inflation. It's going to make America less competitive. It's going to make American companies less competitive when you look at China or Europe. Our corporate rate will be higher than China. You're watching businesses go overseas instead of, when we passed tax decrease, that companies came back to America. It's the reverse. We're watching inflation that we've never seen before. Government competing with business. They take the child tax credit, but they take away the requirement for work requirements. So here's small business once again can't find people to work, and business and government is now competing with them. These are the problems.
Yeah, and I'm glad you
any
mentioned that
economist
the
will tell you it's
requirements,
wrong.
because a big portion of the country will be eligible for all of this free money.
So although Kevin McCarthy is against the big spending, what do you think about his perspective? Does he bring up any good points? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know your thoughts on that. Next up is John Yarmuth, a Democrat, talking about the complete opposite. Here's his clip right here.
Let's stay on the Senate side for a minute. Your fellow Kentuckian, Mitch McConnell, wrote a letter to the president on Friday in which he says, your lieutenants, speaking to the president on Capitol Hill, now have the time they claimed they lacked to address the debt ceiling through standalone reconciliation and all the tools to do it. They cannot invent another crisis to ask for my help. He's talking about you there, I think, as one of the lieutenants here who could handle a debt ceiling lift through reconciliation. Is that the path we're now on here? And would it be as easy as one Republican aide suggested to me last week, that it could be an amendment vote in the vote-a-rama? Could be as simple as that for Democrats to handle the debt ceiling in reconciliation if you so choose?
Well, first of all, I don't think you can trust anything that any Republican says because they can't control all 50 of their members. And it only takes one or two to object on the Senate side, as you know, Garrett, to foil any of the guarantees that they might make to us. One thing that I need to make, and I get furious thinking about Mitch McConnell, that he's my senator, is he's being so deceitful with the American people. Right now, he says, well, this is what they're asking us to do is pay for future debt. Right now, every minute we are incurring more debt because of the Republican passed tax cuts in 2017. CBO projected at the time that between 2022 and 2028, the Republican tax cuts would add $800 billion to the national debt. So that's their debt. That's not anything the Democrats had to do. We all voted against it. That's their debt, and now they don't want to pay for it.
President Biden has made a lot of promises and has made a few mistakes over his first year in office. Here is a video clip explaining that if he doesn't do something right now, it could spell disaster, not just for President Biden, but looks like the whole Democratic Party. Here's more on that.
Poll numbers are, to use the technical term, not good. And for Democrats, there are even more troubling numbers underneath the surface. Joining me now, CNN senior data reporter Harry, and in the numbers here, they tell a clear story.
They do tell a clear story. You know, again, to use a technical term, not good. This is the trend in Joe Biden's job approval rating. You look at August 1st, you know, the approval was at 51, the disapproval was at 43. That was a net right there, a +8. Well, look at what happened. September 1, the net, -2, the disapproval above the approval, and now -5. So essentially going in the wrong direction. Not good.
Clearly underwater at this point. So who is driving this, Harry?
Well, this, I think, gives you the picture of who's driving it. So it's Biden's net approval by the party of the voters. And you can see, look, he's down among Democrats, he's down among Republicans, and he's down among independents. But among Democrats, he's down 10. Among Republicans, he's down 12. But look at this. Among independents, he is down 19 points. He was in positive territory on August 1st at +3. He's now at -16 points net approval rating with independents. It's those folks in the center of the electorate who are driving this.
They've moved a lot, and they've moved pretty quickly. Why are independents particularly important for Joe Biden?
Because they're the reason that he won in the 2020 election. So this is comparing Joe Biden's 2020 margin to Hillary Clinton's 2016 margin by party. And what do you see here? You see that among independents, look at that, Joe Biden won by 13 points. This was a group that Hillary Clinton lost by 4. This was a massive change. 17 points movement towards Joe Biden. It was those voters in the center of the electorate who helped win him the election. And now that he is underwater, them a very bad sign.
What are they seeing or not seeing?
Yeah. So I think this right here, look at this. So how much has Biden accomplished in office so far? In late April, look at this. 51%, a bare majority, but a majority nonetheless, said he accomplished a great or fair deal. Now look at late August. Look at this. Down to just 40%. Now the clear majority of voters say, look at this. 58% say he's accomplished only some or very little. So they don't think that Joe Biden has gotten to office and done very much.
I think vaccinations, which was a real push for the administration, and they got a lot of people vaccinated in late August with Delta. People may have not been feeling as good about that. That may be driving that. And there's another thing maybe the White House could do or lean on going forward that could help turn this around.
I think they could. So look, if you're not doing anything, the real way to solve that is to do something. So look at popularity of Joe Biden versus his Build Back Better agenda. And what do we see here? Look, Joe Biden's overall job performance, look, he's underwater at -5 points. But look at this, the $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan. A lot more people support that, 57%, than approve of Biden at 44%. And even the $3.5 trillion social programs plan, look at that, 53% support. And you can see it here. Look at this net, plus 30, plus 20, minus 5. Doing something, passing this legislation could boost his approval rating because it actually shows he's doing something.
Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Livy Carr, who do you contact if one of the child care tax credits was returned for a bad address? So you would go to the website, the child tax credit portal. You could fix your address there. Also, you could change it to direct deposit if you wanted to go into your bank account rather than having a physical paper check. So that's where you do that on the IRS website. Go to IRS, child tax credit, it'll take you right to the portal to fix that up. Next, Lee Banning. Will people on disability get this check or did they change the rules? So I think you might be, I'm not sure which check you're referring to, but I've been talking about the Social Security senior stimulus check for the $1,400. Not in any package yet, still petitioning, they're still lobbying for it, but that would just go to seniors, not anyone else on disability or any other Social Security recipients. Next question comes from Bovia Aaron. So they may give us older folk a $1,400 stimulus check, but my question is, how old do we have to be to get it? I am 63 on Social Security, so you would be approved for that. I think it doesn't really matter the age. You could be older or, as long as you're a senior citizen collecting Social Security checks, then you would be qualified for that $1,400 stimulus check. Because you could be of age, but you may not collect Social Security. So hopefully that answers your question. But just a reminder, that is not going out. It's not official yet. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you one thing that is so funny about me. I'm back! So, can I tell you something else? When you feel really a little bit down, you should call a friend or a family member because then you could feel more better. Like I have this here. That's all I want to speak to. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your support. So here is the latest video on my Wise Buys channel. It's actually of my daughter Bella reviewing her new watercolor paint, talking about it and stuff. So check this video out. So I did this video with my daughter Bella on her new watercolor paint. She loves painting throughout the day, which is pretty cool. So yeah, check out that video. You could click up here or down here for other updates. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.